Welcome back, everybody. Today is my journey through all the different sets that have come out in the past 3+ years, and this is going to be Kaguya Love is War and Kaguya Love is War question mark, which is set to. I'm going to do both, and the reason why I'm going to do that because I wasn't going to do that. TCG player, you cannot actually separate out the two sets, so I'm going to just do both at the same time. First off, I'm going to run through the history, and then I'm going to look at the card prices as they stand. You can take a look here that Kaguya Love is War came out on June 25th, 2021. There was a booster box. There was a trial deck. Version 2 or Set 2 came out on February 17th, 2023 because they were feeling the love. But it didn't feel like a lot of love when we got the set because it was a little sad about everything that took place on it. So just to show you this, the booster box for the first set came out 100 type of normal cards, 40 type of parallels, which is really nice. I actually weaseled my way into getting my wife to open it. She pulled the Kaguya, which I was really excited for. But as you can see as I scroll down here, this set did not have any sort of signatures on it. It did not have serial numbers either. So if you remember Magia Record Anime, that one had serial numbers in the booster box, none for the trial deck. What we got here is no signatures or serials in the booster box or trial deck. That kind of sucked because people definitely wanted to have that, right? It's just one of the things. Kaguya is a very popular anime. If you have not seen it, people enjoy it. It took me a little while to get in it. I've said that numerous times. Not going to rehash that, but it's just one of those ones where people loved it, and to see what actually happened to it was very sad. It was very sad. So when this got announced, people were really excited for it. When we found out about the modified artwork, not so much. It was very sad, and then led us to question. First off, why weren't we getting any signatures? And then why weren't we getting any serial numbers? It's because we got that example before with Magia Record. Then you also had a restriction list update, which included Kaguya Love is War. Now, they since changed it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it still exists, and people are wanting this to be just lifted completely. I think in JP, that was lifted completely, but I could be wrong. But no matter what, it's not like tons of people are playing this set anyways. Now, moving on, there was issues with the trial deck itself. You got an extra card, and because of that, you were missing a card. Luckily for the people that didn't buy the trial deck when it was first came out, well, there was reprints of it for Data Live and Kaguya Love is War. These were when we got gold going to silver prints. Now, Data Live had signatures on there, so they went from gold to silver signature on Kaguya Love is War. We went from gold stamps to silver stamps. It wasn't like they were going to add the signatures back in there for you. That wasn't a problem. It was more over, what, at least you got that extra card, I think. I don't know. I never bought the reprint because I will tell you there was no reprint actually needed. Booster box number 2, Love is War question mark came out February 17th, 2023. 100 type of cards, 53 parallels. If you remember this one, this is the one that I just did not like whatsoever because you got band members. Lots of band members with no signatures, and again, no serial numbers. So even after, like some time went by, they had the chance to think about it. They could have added serial numbers to it. They still did not do it. I don't know why. That's just what they ended up with. And by the way, if you're wondering, you're like, well, there's other Kaguya sets that came out in the terms of anime or movie. Yeah, there was this thing called Osaka TCG, and you have this ultra romantic right there. Yeah, that's where it went. Not to say that it couldn't come over to Weiss Schwarz at some point, but right now, not so much. Okay. Also, just showing you here, they did announce on September 23rd, 2022, that it was going to have modified artwork for Love is War, uh, the second set that came out. So people knew ahead of time. Unfortunately, people knew ahead of time. Man, I really just did not like this set. It's just not one of the ones that I enjoyed. I like the Oscar way better. Oscar, yeah, that's a good one. I still haven't opened all of them yet, but taking a look at the sealed prices at this point. If you're wondering why I'm doing these, there's a real reason why I'm doing all of these sets. But this is gonna be Kaguya Love is War booster box number 1, $85. First edition trial deck, $26.99. Wow, 2 listings left. That's pretty amazing, except for the fact that there's 27 right here. That is a freaking lot of trial decks, I will tell you that. Jeez. Amazing, yeah. And there's displays of this thing for $83. If I click in it, is it still? Yeah, it's still $83. Wow. Wow, first edition display, $83. I wonder why that could be. You know, for a popular IP, why could that be? I know I'm being very sarcastic here at this point. Booster Box Love is War set to $38. And now if you're wondering if this price is true or if they've been searched, I mean, I'm just gonna scroll down here and you could just take a look at the names that are showing up on this list and you just look at the quantity and just try to figure out what this tells you. Oh, and by the way, remember these are these kind of boxes, these flat JP boxes for set 2, and you can just look at the number here and come to your own conclusion about this stuff, if the price is really real or maybe not. And then lastly is your booster box case for set 2, $670.50, and there's 3 of them. One person selling 3 of these. This should tell you the state of Kaguya Love is War, because again, if you don't trust single booster boxes, what does it tell you when you have a whole case for $670.50? Yep. Yep. Oh, and did I forget the trial deck? Yeah, I did, of the second edition, the one that no one needed, the one that Bushiroad decided to print out for some freaking reason. I cannot. I really wish. There's some days I tell myself or say out loud, I wish I could be there when they make these decisions. This one I wanted to be there for. You know, like who made the call? $11.95 on this trial deck. This person has 8 of them. The display is sitting here for $77.47. Yeah, good times, everybody. Good times. And you wonder why. I always say it's always good to have investors come in and pick up some of this product, as in like when it first releases. And the reason why is because they're going to throw it into a dark hole. They're going to sell it at some point, but they guarantee that at the very least there's some supply out there. Because I know other people are like, stores should own this or Bushiroad should keep a bunch of it, but nobody wants to hold dead product, especially product that is not worth as much as it was before, that you can't actually sell. It's not feasible for a seller or LGS to do this, no matter what, right? They're not going to hold this for 10 years just to lose money. That's not where we want to be. So, talking about TCG Player, they couldn't separate out set 1 and set 2. Like, if you go up here and click on this check mark, you're not going to be able to actually do that. So what I'm showing you right here is the SECs. The SECs were not my favorite. I don't like having these chibi art for SECs, and even TCG Player off here to the right. This is an SR, as you can see. It's going to be K. K. Well, too much. You see K right there? That's an SR. This isn't an SEC whatsoever, but they just have it there. So TCG Player had a lot of fun with this set. Overall, you don't see really many seals. They are cute. I will say I like this Kaguya. Even though I say that, to me this is one of those ones that I guess when we started getting these overframe rares, right? Instead of an SEC, maybe this thing should have been like a Kaguya rare. Something like that. That's where it should have really been versus an SEC. Then we have, let's see, now what do we got? We got SPs. So this one's easy to tell the difference, right? You take a look, you see band members, that is set 2. You see non-band members, and that would be set 1. And some of them are really nice. I really did enjoy this. Supreme Bliss Chika, one of my very favorites. And then we got Cat Ears Kaguya, 209.97. As you can see, take a look for any sort of green markings on here. And the only one we got, so well, actually no, there's actually 5 of them. There we go. We got Chika. We got the trial deck gold stamp Kaguya, $299.89, recently sold at $200. You have Miyuki over there, $150. Silver stamp Kaguya, bringing it up for the trial deck, $88.39. And this band Miyuki, $42.99. Now, I will say, people are still playing the set. You will notice that in the double rares and some of the rares that I'm going to show you, you can see there's some high prices for it because people want to play it. This one right here, I know it's not $900. It is definitely not $900. You can buy it elsewhere for less than $900. But this is the one that my wife pulled for me. I am very proud because I get very few times where she will actually open cards or even look at cards or even touch cards. And that was one of those times. And it was really cool to actually see her pull that for me. So that was really nice. Actually, realistically, what happened was I asked you all what boxes we should open from my case. And so I think two people picked the booster box that she opened, and that was the one. So thank you, people out there, for that. I haven't ever since then. I haven't opened any other Kaguya Weiss Schwarz Set One booster boxes. Maybe one day I'll get back to that. But seeing as how I pulled I think I did get one of those KRs. Was there a KR? Let me see. Hold on. I didn't actually I can bring it up. Here it is, KRs. There you go. So if you take a look at this KR, this is what I mentioned earlier about that SEC. See, we have these KRs like this one. Now we're even. I don't know why those two were SECs when they could have just been KRs. Right? Like you have these. And if you take a look at these chibi versions, do you see a lot of sales on them? I do have lower prices, and I know people thought some of these were actually fun, and I think they are, and I think they deserve the prices that these should be. The SEC, my point still stands. I don't know why they couldn't have made that into a KR. I totally forgot there were KRs. If you're wondering why I said that earlier, why did you make it into Kaguya rares? But they actually did a Kaguya rares. Okay, triple rares, as you see, there are a bunch of them, and they're not going for a lot of money. So if anybody out there wanted some triple rares, this is the way you get it. The funny part is you're gonna notice there's a bit of a separation here. When you take a look at Kaguya Love is War Set 1 versus Set 2, again, the question marks, you're gonna notice there's gonna be less supply and higher prices. So this Wild Delusions triple rare, $15.99. What's gonna be funny about that is people remember what happened during Set 1. And the fact that, it didn't do so well, and the fact that there were stamps instead of signatures, no serial numbers, the fact that there's a restriction list. They remember a lot of it. And what ended up happening was not a lot of people wanted to buy into the set, which makes a lot of sense. They weren't all into that. They didn't want to get those SP band members. So that's what actually happened. And because of that, you're going to notice that there's going to be an uptick in some of the prices of the foils, like these SRs. I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, man, there's not a lot of this stuff. It's funny. There's not a lot, but there's a lot. Think about this. If I just go back here to this, it's showing you Booster Box 2, which is the case 670. And then you have the case over here for the first set, 1450. I know that's insane. $85 a booster box versus 38. Now I go back here over to the SRs. What do you see here? You see an SR for booster box number 2, 3401. Booster box 2, 2450. $19. So what's the deal here, right? Think about this. There's there wasn't a lot of this out there, and there's people unwilling to actually open it up, right? There's people that wanted to invest in it, and so a lot of the people that invested in the first one didn't want to get into the second one. And there's just this is I feel like when we got to set 2, this is around the time where people were just like very wary of Weiss Schwarz product because of this kind of stuff actually happening, or just remembering what happened in the past. Was the set really good outside of the SPs? And I guess if they would have lifted the ban, yeah, it would have been really nice. I mean, again, the IP was amazing. Like if you flash you this, let me flash you this. This is my anime list as always. Take a look at this. 8.63, 1.3 million. Let me zoom in way more. Hold on. There you go. This is 8.63 for the score, 1.3 million. 8.4, 1.7 million. Not that one. Not this OVA. Down here, Ultra Romantic score 9.0, 969,000, well, 970,000 basically. So remember when I show you all these other anime and how they drop off pretty decently? Kaguya Love is War. It didn't have it did drop off, but it wasn't crazy. When you could still say when you get to this point and you still have about 1 million people, the set should have done pretty well overall. Like when you really think about that, should have done well. But in the end, no, it was sad. It was actually really sad what happened here. Here's your double rares filtered by high to low. You know, we got a lot from first set. We got Chika, Kaguya, Miyuki. People use those cards, and if you click in there, you'll be able to see it. We got a band member down there. We got some band members, but decent pricing when it comes to the actual sets. I would say set one, that was still during the time where you weren't able to get your fill of product, right? You wanted to get it, you couldn't really get it. I think that's what partially held up the prices. That's why you see the booster box still in the $80 area. It was more demand, right? And that's my point with investing in Weiss Schwarz is you want playability and you want to also have collector demand. And they fell short when it came to the collectors just because of what they did to the SPs. Now, here are your rares. Let's see about rares. There's some decent ones. I bestow encourage, of course. That one's a good one. Just moving on. Uncommons. Nothing really to look at. We also have commons. I highly doubt that. Of course. And then we have PRs. PRs that we got from the box toppers. Then you also got your, what did we call that? Your tournament store PR pack. We had those in here as well. So 380. Well, actually, let me filter this. Sorry. It's not letting me. Let me filter, dang it. All right, high to low. Okay. Oh my god, look at that foil. Look at that Miyuki and you. $20. It's amazing what I learn. Not learn, but it refreshes my memory taking a look back at these sets. So it's really cool actually getting a chance to do this. Dang, man. Foreign store PR packs. Tell ya. And then yeah, that was one of those ones where I hopefully they figured it all out by this point. I haven't heard anybody say about in a while about lateness or anything like that, but 3350. This is one of those ones I told everybody, if you're going to be ordering and you have people like sellers, you have options for sellers and one offers a tournament store PR pack and one doesn't. This one doesn't work for every set, but it's worth buying it if they're roughly the same price. It's totally where you should be at. Now moving on. Lastly, trial deck. You need the trial deck. I guess if you need any cards from the trial deck, I mean, you might as well buy the reprint one. Maybe you get a silver print, maybe you don't, but it's so cheap at this point. I think it's worth just outright buying the dang thing at this point. That's basically it. What I see for Kaguya Love is War. Very interesting. It also doesn't help that we have this Osuka, even though it was awesome. If you didn't get to check it out, I did a video on it. I pulled a U. So that was neat. That was neat to see. I mean, I really wish I would have got somebody else, but I do love his character. I don't mind that at all. But let me know your thoughts on Kaguya Love is War. Like I said, there's reasons why I'm doing this. Channel members, as always, there'll be a video on this afterwards just to wrap this all up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out as always. But have a good week. It's going to be one of those ones where I'm already wondering how this week is going to go. There's so much going on. We have Build Divide coming out with not coming soon. It'll be coming in October. We heard about My Dress Up Darling for that. We saw some art for that. Union Arena had a bunch of news. Pokemon, as always, it just came out. It's just a lot of stuff happening. It's going to be a good week. And then, of course, the stock market. And why I'm talking about this is more just because I want you all, again, to realize if you haven't made a budget, you should probably do that at some point because all this stuff is coming to a head. A lot of cool stuff is happening out there. And bills aren't getting any cheaper. I've been saying this for it's crazy for like 3.5 years about making a budget. And I know some people hear me, but you haven't actually done it. And it makes you just wonder, what's it going to take for you to make a budget? But if you need any help, let me know. I don't know about how I could push you any harder because it really comes down to the person. I really want you all out there to take a look at everything that you own. and just realize that there's some things that are more important than the others. That maybe you should take a little bit of time out of your day to help yourself by creating that budget. But anyways, as always, have fun. Be heavy. Don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one. I have to get off my soapbox. I really just want to see the best for all of you out there, and hopefully you hit your goals. It's great to play these card games. I think that's where it is for me in the end. It's great to play these card games. It's great to collect them. It's great to invest in them. But there's a lot of other things out there in the world that probably should come before TCGs. And with that, I'm gonna spend time with my cats and my wife. I'll see you later.